Happy Thursday, my adorable Thursday munchkins. Once again, Elon Musk is pissing off all the right people. First, it was Hollywood, everyone and their Coke dealer, either threatening to leave Twitter or left Twitter because they couldn't handle all the free speech. The only speech they can handle is usually in a script someone else wrote for them. This week, you got Jim Carrey tweeting that he's leaving. Good. Don't let the door hit you in your talking ass on the way out. But now there's another reason you won't hear about his movies. Then it was the far lefties like AOC. Every other tweet from her was like a deranged note a crazy ex would leave on your bedroom mirror in lipstick. You know, I should know, it has happened to me. A couple of times. Now it's Antifa. First of all, who knew they could actually read? These morons are so dumb when they have to go to the bathroom, they scratch at the front door so someone will let them out. The Intercept reports that several freaks have had their accounts suspended after right-wing operatives appealed directly to Musk to ban them. The leftists blame Andy Ngo, a far-right citizen journalist. And when I say far-right, I mean so far everything he's written about these scumbags has been right. Last week, he tweeted at Elon that Antifa Twitter accounts were promoting riots, to which Musk replied, incitement to violence will result in account suspension. Now, see how easy that was, Jack Dorsey? Why didn't you think of that 2 years ago? And so they were kicked off Twitter faster than you could say, how do you like that, you non-showering, Marxist-loving, yellow-bellied scumbuckets? Yeah, they were kicked off faster than Brian Kilmeade holding onto a cliff in one of my many reoccurring dreams. Every time. And before you knew it, Portland's Antifa chapter was threatening revenge, organizing protests at Tesla dealerships. The upside, they won't have to set the electric cars on fire when they'll just catch fire on their own. And what kind of person even agrees with these miscreants?
Never classy, she is so sassy, feeling malign, slowly losing her mind. On her bookshelf, overeducated and undermedicated. She won't be happy till we're all castrated. She's the one that we call Dirtbag Deb.
Hey, Elon Musk banned Antifa. That is unnecessary censorship. They didn't do anything wrong.
Look, Deb, I don't have time for this, okay? I gotta...
Elon Musk spews hate speech, and he must be stopped. That's a good one. I'm going to tweet that.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Isn't that you calling for censorship?
Yeah, so?
Well, you're freely tweeting your opinion. That's kind of hypocritical, right?
Huh. You really made me think.
Violence. Meantime, you got dedicated Supercuts user. That's sad. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen claiming she misspoke when she said there's no basis to review Musk's Twitter purchase. You know, she looks like Newt Gingrich if he was transitioning. At a New York Times event yesterday, she said the deal would warrant a government review if national security concerns were raised, which was a complete 180. That's half a 360, Cat. From when she told CBS just a few weeks ago that there's no basis for an investigation. Yep, she caved faster than Jerry Nadler on a hunger strike. I haven't seen a reversal like that since Brit Hume wrestled Tyrus. I think they were wrestling. Of course, the White House is pissed. The White House is pissed because now that Elon owns it, they know they can no longer control the site's narratives. Elon said yesterday that before he bought Twitter, the obvious reality was that Twitter has interfered in elections through content moderation. And now Twitter's old content moderator admits that was wrong. He's referring to the censorship of the New York Post blurb about Hunter Biden's laptop. You know, all to make sure old Joe would be stinking up the Oval Office with emissions created by chasing crab cakes with vanilla and sugar. Yeah. Whew. Then there's Liz Warren imploding when asked about Elon.
Republicans say that Democrats are picking on Elon Musk.
Elon Musk is doing just fine.
But do you think that users have a right to freedom of speech, even if what they're saying is wrong or offensive?
I think that one human being should not decide how millions of people communicate with each other. One human being should not be able to go into a dark room by himself and decide, oh, that person gets heard from, that person doesn't. That's not how it should work.
And there she goes. You ever notice how these politicians are always in a hurry, but nothing ever gets done? Where are they going? Where's she going? I gotta go. She's either late for a committee hearing or she has a tiny bladder. Anyway, she's as bitter as a bowl of peyote. Why don't you rain dance back to the commune, Coachie? For God's sakes, stop dressing like Prince. Then there's this clown answering questions to the best of her ability, which is none.
When are you guys going to delete the White House Twitter account?
Why would we do that?
Well, you're saying that you're keeping an eye on Twitter because it might not be a suitable platform, so why use it?
Look, I want to be very clear here. The president has always said, and he has been very clear in his belief that it is important of social media platforms to continue to take steps to reduce hate speech and misinformation.
Wow. This lady looks down more often than someone trying on new shoes. She says the site must reduce hate speech and misinformation. Oddly, though, it's the left that seems to corner that market. But Elon's not just pissing off these bozos. The EU has threatened to ban Twitter unless he abides by its strict rules on content moderation. The European head told Musk he must adhere to a checklist of rules, including ditching an arbitrary approach to reinstating banned users. What does that mean? Pursuing disinformation aggressively and agreeing to extensive independent audits by next year, or else. Well, I guess this idiot forgot that although Twitter is global, it's still as American as cinnamon Pop-Tarts and 4th of July mattress sales. Which makes me wonder, how do you say blow it out your ass in German, French, Italian, Spanish, Swedish, and Polish? Let's welcome tonight's guest. He's like Japan's kamikazes. Most of his pilots go down in flames. TV writer and producer Rob Law. This former Fox anchor could make your heart sink. Author of the great book, Write Your Own Story, How I Took Control by Letting Go. That's not about bladder control. Patty Ann Brown. He's put more crowds to sleep than a gas leak. Writer and comedian Joe DeVito. And she's like a stray cat, small, cold, and often sleeps on the floor of a bodega. Fox News contributor Kat Tip. So, Rob, it appears you just got back from your audition for that hearing aid commercial.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Did you express enough anger that these things are so expensive, but they just don't work?
You know, Greg, I want to tell you about my self-lubricating catheter. The best.
What happened to the self-lubricating catheters?
They not only didn't work, they killed the people.
No, they didn't. I think they worked so well, they weren't needed anymore.
That's right. They were so great that the money you save, you could buy gold and silver.
On top of the reverse mortgage, you're living like a king.
That's how I can afford these fancy cardigans.
Yes.
My favorite's the lady who's like, I thought I already had Medicare.
Yeah. That's Mad Marge.
Yeah, Martha, hello.
Martha, yeah, we're getting her on the show. So, Rob, wow, what were we talking about?
Just stay focused.
I'm trying to stay focused. I think, are you seeing people that actually fear that they're losing control of the narratives that were being fed to them? It's like they were like a bird and somebody took the bird feeder away. Isn't that good because Twitter?
Yeah, it's really good. Oh, wow. I understand why you're so successful. You came up with that. No, actually, here's what I honestly think. I get it that he's pissing off the right kind of people, but he does have a problem, which is that He needs advertisers. Those are the customers of Twitter. So he's starting to realize that you can have a lot of fun, and you're starting to have arguments with people for free. Like Elizabeth Warren, he used to have an argument with her for free. They're all having fun. He has to pay his creditors every quarter. Real cash, cash money.
That's why he's going to do a pay. That's why he's going to try to get people to pay.
It's not enough. He made a mistake, and he's trying to get out of the
all
mistake.
right, so somehow you, Rob Long, producer of what show?
It doesn't matter.
Is saying that a billionaire, the richest man alive, has made a mistake in a business decision.
Look, only a brilliant genius could make a mistake and be this dumb. I really believe that. Only somebody that smart. He just is smart, and no one around him said, hey, don't do this. But he mortgaged the crown, the thing he did, which is amazing. He built a car company that didn't exist. He invented a whole new kind of car. It's crazy. He's an incredibly genius, talented guy. But Twitter is a toy and a media company, and it's very different, and he's discovering that.
Well, somebody's very cocky after getting that new hearing aid.
Let me tell you something. With my magic burgundy cardigan, I can see the future.
Yes. And also you seem so loose after all that Relief Factor.
Well, what's amazing now is the Depends. They make them. They're full body.
Full body.
Full body. So I can be here all day.
Oh, jeez. PAB, how's the book doing?
Oh, it's doing fine, mainly thanks to you.
Yes, I was hoping you'd say that. If you haven't purchased her book, go on Amazon and buy her book. It's an exciting read from the first page on. There's a whole chapter on our red-eye days, which is kind of interesting. What's your take on Elon Musk so far? And feel free to trash Rob Long's take.
So Elon Musk has readily acknowledged that Twitter does need some controls in place, and he's putting them where they belong. For example, child porn, an area where apparently the previous owners did not do a good job. Apparently child porn was being exchanged openly.
Yeah. That's true.
He's putting controls there. He understands we need to stop incitement to violence. These things he's controlling. But then this EU Commissioner Breton adds on, well, we also have to aggressively fight against disinformation. No. Actually, no, that is not your job. You cannot be the arbiters of truth. And in fact, what's called disinformation by one person actually turns out to be true many times, as we saw with Hunter Biden's laptop, which conveniently they admitted was actually legitimate after the election. So, he's controlling the right things. And also, they're talking about him like he's some right-wing extremist. The guy was a Democrat until recently.
Yeah, and everybody loved him when he did the cars. You know what? I think you had your balance of nature. It's either that or the beats. Joe, I'm just wondering, how many college students did you trick into your van telling them you were a professor?
Not enough, if you ask me. I have been a little off ever since I drank that water from Camp Lejeune. I have a ceremonial bone to pick with Elizabeth Warren.
Yes.
I don't like her calling out men being alone in a dark room. That's where I do my best work.
Yes.
That personally. It's so absurd, the anger that it shows the left that they can't even tolerate the idea that a different opinion exists, let alone engage with it. If you don't like a platform, don't go on it. Am I on Pinterest? No. Am I on TikTok? No. Am I on OnlyFans? Right, I'm on OnlyFans. Okay? Because that's where the action is.
Pinterest is so weird, right? What is, I go on Pinterest and I go like, these are, what, cat?
Because it's for women.
Oh. That usually doesn't stop me.
It's like for women who like bake things and decorate their homes, things I've never done.
Yeah. What do you make a Yellen's about face, huh?
Well, it doesn't really matter because we're going to be the only ones who notice it. And then people are going to be like, I mean, look.
Come on now. You know what? This is
honestly,
you put up a picture of Boris.
It's mean.
Boris Johnson, and you're just like, it's not,
you know what's meaner is
that
that she's involved in the conspiracy of the government stealing my money. That's what's mean.
Yeah.
I can't say enough bad things about people who are involved in that.
You mean the Fed?
The feds, all of them.
All
yes,
of them.
The Fed.
Not just the plural feds.
The feds.
Yes. What do you feel about Elon? I got to roll, but I want to get your thoughts in general.
I mean, it's been crazy how it's been melting down so much, but also so much the same. Because all of the people are complaining about how they can't do this or that anymore, they're doing it on Twitter.
Exactly.
Largely.
Yes.
So they can't walk away.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got to move on.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.